Well, it might not have been the best of weeks, but Newcastle have just got back to do what we do best in the league, winning football matches. Now, I'll tell you what, that second half was pretty tasty. The Fulham match folks coming up, Newcastle fans, so do us a favour, because it's Christmas, and make sure you stick around. Welcome back to Black White Banter, you lovely Newcastle fans. Here we are, I've just landed in the Toon. It's match day, the bread and butter's back. Champions League, who wants Champions League? I wasn't bothered about that. I wasn't gutted for the last 2 days, I promise. Nah, Fulham's a bigger game. Fulham's bigger than your Dortmunds, your PSGs. This is what it's all about. We do need to dust ourselves off quite quickly. 2 back-to-back defeats, lots of goals conceded, looking a little bit leaky in the goalkeeping department, little bit uncertain in areas. We need to get back to what we do best, but if there's one thing I'm confident in, it's our league form. 6 straight wins, which is absolutely incredible. I've never known that for God knows how many years, but it is Christmas. There's a feel-good vibe. 3 o'clock, lovely 3 o'clock. Eddie Howe's 3 p.m. record is absolutely class, and I'll tell you what, Christmas has come early, because I'm not going to talk about it too much on this video, but 6,000 tickets for Sunderland away. That's the best Christmas present. Literally, you can call it January 1st now. I don't need to see Santa Claus coming down the chimney. 6,000 seats for Sunderland away. It's meltdown over there for them. Their fans are getting moved. They're getting Ian Beale from EastEnders as the new manager. I cannot wait. That's going to be my Christmas day. So without further ado, I am a little bit late, as I always am, because I'm still rough from my Christmas party a couple of days ago. My God, will a half-time pint be difficult today? I'm going to get myself up, wait for the team news to come in, mingle a little bit, get my usual match day Red Bull and get amongst it. But hopefully we can get in to a team that's in decent form. Let's get into these and get some points on the board just before Christmas. Are we in, lads? Team news has dropped, and I tell you what, I said on my match preview I wanted Longstaff back. I said on my match preview I thought Dan Burn would come in at left back, not Hall or anyone else maybe talked about, and I thought Callum Wilson would start. It's pretty much exactly the team that I predicted in my preview. So there's no Isak, which I tell you what, that asks questions. Wednesday he wasn't right. Wednesday he annoyed me with his lack of work rate. If he's not in the squad today, something wasn't right on Wednesday, so that was maybe an error from somewhere. So we've got no striking option. If Callum Wilson does not make it through this game, it's panic stations in the forward areas. I'm glad Gordon passed fit. Longstaff, great to see him back. It's pretty much the team that we saw for so much of last season, but Kieran Trippier is going to be a bit of a miss. Livermore will do the job, but then we're missing something on the left. I hope that doesn't bite us too much. Good first 10 minutes, hopefully a good atmosphere, not too much of a hangover. Let's get up there. Team news is out. It's not raining, it's almost Christmas. How are you, Eddie Howe's Max? Half time. We haven't really created much in that final third, have we? The red card, I haven't seen it back, but my God, it looked like it was a karate lesson. That's how bad it looked. I'd love to see that one back, and that changes the game a little bit because Fulham suddenly camped everyone in. We've had all of the ball. Fulham haven't offered anything. We need to be beating these, but we've just lacked a bit of quality. And as for injuries, my God, Shear's gone off, Joelinton's gone off. I'm really hoping those two aren't serious, because it's getting to the point where bloody hell the tea lady's going to be playing in our next match. On to the second half we go. We haven't created too much in that half there, but I do think we'll get this one over the line. I do. It's only going to be a matter of time. We just need to up that intensity a little bit, because just in certain areas, some matches we show up when we've acted from the first whistle, some matches we a little bit slower. On to the second half we go. just come out of the stadium. Terry, back to winning ways, which was the most important thing today. What did you think of that first and foremost?
Well, the result was the crucial thing after the last week we've had. So needed the win, but we're back on track. Didn't look like we might not get it at half time. It was struggling, wondering where the goal was coming from at that point. But got there in the end.
And who was your man of the match today? Because obviously second half was definitely standout.
Yeah, Bruno all day long. He ran the show. Second half. I mean, other guys got the goals, but he ran the show.
And that was probably important with Joelinton going off, because Joelinton's been very good for us recently. So when he went off, I think Bruno probably had to step up a little bit.
And I think he did. You know, what he was asked of him, he produced it. It was a big blow, Joelinton going off.
Hoping it's precautionary, He didn't go off too stressed, I don't think. I think he walked down the tunnel, but...
No, with him going off anyway, you know, you win it for that game alone. What was going to happen, because there was lacking in ideas at some point anyway, you know. But Bruno definitely set up the mark when required, so got to give it to him.
And as for Lewis Miley today, when he came in, he wasn't expecting to come in probably as early as he did. How do you think he got on today?
Oh, brilliant! I mean, you know, we're over the moon with him when he played his first game. When he came on, he's back up to that level today. Was magic. He really was.
Looks like he's been playing for years, doesn't he?
He must be absolutely bouncing around that dressing room now. He must be.
Right, I've been happily joined by Liam and David, who've just stopped to talk to us there. But before we get into the match, I've just had a little bit of an interesting story. So yous are friends of
Alex Murphy. He's on the bench tonight.
Murphy, right? So has he invited you over for this one? Do you come and watch all his matches, or well, obviously I know he's not playing, but
kind of just rocked up now, so we're hoping he'll let us stay with him.
Wonderful.
Yeah, pretty much that's it.
Right. So where you both from?
Galway, same place as Alex. So
Right. You might have to come a little bit closer. I'm reaching over. Right, gents, what did you think of that match first and foremost?
That was brilliant. First half was a bit, couldn't really break them down, but then second half turned the screw, and the first goal just changed everything really.
It was almost a game. It was a game of two halves, wasn't it?
Yeah,
a little bit.
I thought Lewis Miley kind of changed it a bit. He got on a lot.
He's looking pretty good, isn't he, for his age? Looks like he's played football for years.
Yeah, I can't believe he's 17. He's way younger than me. I just can't believe it. It's mental.
And who's your man of the match today, if you had to pick someone?
Bruno. I think he's quality.
I'm hearing that quite a lot actually from people I've spoken to. So find yourself the same, or?
It's either him or Miley, yeah. I think Miley kind of changed the game a bit.
I think a lot of Newcastle fans might edge towards Miley just because he's the local lad, scoring his first goal.
Can't argue with that.
So, going into the Christmas period, lots of matches, 2 more players have gone off injured today.
Yeah, I know.
Chelsea in the Cup on Tuesday. How do you see the Christmas period going?
If we can get a few players back from injury, like Botman was back today, which is great to see.
Yeah, Rolls-Royce.
Yeah,
Rolls-Royce is back out of the garage.
So if we can get a few more players back from injury, I think we'll be alright.
Cup on Tuesday, fancy us?
Yeah, absolutely, always.
And yourself, Cup on Tuesday?
Always.
Is there another Wembley trip on the horizon or not?
There has to be. There must be.
Please God.
I'm liking that. Is that the same for you?
Yeah, please God, hopefully. Europe again next year.
And I've been happily joined by Paul. I've just stopped him there. Thank you very much for stopping to speak to us. First question, what were your thoughts on today's game? A little bit of a slow first half, I think it's fair to say. The red card changes things a little bit. Second half, we just turned it on, did we?
We did. I mean, Fulham came for a point, and when Jimenez recklessly got himself sent off, I mean, what was he doing?
You were closer than me. It looked like a karate lesson from where I was.
Yeah, we were bang opposite, and he just sort of jumped into Longstaff. I mean, he was upset because he thought he'd been fouled by Lascelles, probably was, took it out on Longstaff, don't know what he was doing, ended up getting the yellow card, should have been a red, was a red, so, you know, off he went.
Do you think a match like today, Fulham, like you said, didn't really come out to attack us? It didn't look like from the first whistle. Do you think after Wednesday's match, that's maybe the sort of team we needed to play rather than one of your so-called maybe top 6?
Possibly. I mean,
no disrespect to Fulham.
No, I mean, whoever you're going to play. I mean, Fulham, we've been on a good run, haven't they? Scored 5 against West Ham, and
5 against Forest.
Yeah, and they've been in form. They've got some good players, but I think that, you know, Eddie said that you've got to put the European stuff behind us now. We're out. We're done. You've got another game coming up in the...
No fun crying over spilt milk, as the expression goes.
Exactly, and they didn't, you know. Everybody came out and had a right good go. Even when we lost Shaw and Joelinton to injury, you thought, here we go again, how many more players can we lose? But, you know, Miley came on, and yet again, he was fantastic. Could have had a goal, got his goal, took it really well, and, you know, Livramento again, fantastic at the back.
The world is Miley's oyster, I think it's fair to say, isn't it? I mean, he looks like he's been playing football for years.
Yeah, the more you see of Lewis Miley, the better he gets, and he's playing alongside some very good players. I mean, Bruno today, he just controlled the game. He was sensational.
I just want to give an honourable mention. I've never mentioned it to anyone yet, actually. You've just reminded me. Bruno's cross for the third goal. That's one you'd close the curtains and watch over and over again, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, he's such a good player, isn't he? He's such a good player, and today he just controlled things, sat in front of the back four, got the ball, and he used it well and controlled the game. And that's what we needed. We needed somebody in the midfield to settle it down, because we just needed one goal against Fulham. Once we got the first one, others would come, and if it wasn't for the keeper, it could have been 6 or 7 or 8.
And where do you think the problem's fallen? Sorry, I said I was only going to keep you a minute. This is always happens. Where do you think the problem is between the home and the away form, which is complete polar opposite this season? Why do you think that is? That's 7 home wins in a row.
Yeah, but I mean, you're playing at St James's Park. You got 50,000 roaring you on.
Wasn't an issue last season though?
Well, I don't know. It's tough, isn't it? It's tough to put the finger on where it is going wrong. But you know, at times we haven't quite been good enough. We've played some good football. We haven't had the breaks that other teams get. But you know, that's just the nature of the beast. We will come good. We will get more points away from home. But as long as we're playing good stuff in there and picking points up at home, you know, that's what carries you through a season.
Do you think we'll be okay over the Christmas period? Chelsea in the Cup on Tuesday. How do you see that one going? Is that maybe a game too many? Or do you think we can go on that run to the final again?
Well, it's all a game too many, isn't it? Because you know,
that's fair.
You know,
That's
we're playing 3 games a week, and we're getting more and more injuries. Great to see a couple of the lads coming back. Good to see Sven Botman. I mean, what a class operator he is to bring back. Tuesday's a big game. Carabao Cup last season was great for us. Why can't we do it again? You know, one more game. If we can get through that one, you're in the semi-finals, and you know what can happen then.
And finally, I cannot speak to you about any matches without talking to you, especially after the news yesterday. 6,000 Geordies invading the Stadium of Light. Stadium of Shite, I'll call it as well. What's your thoughts on that game? Have you already got one eye on that, 6th of January?
I think everybody has, haven't they?
Yeah,
Newcastle fans and Sunderland fans. It's been a long time since we've had a derby. It's great for the region. Hope it's a good game.
Are you going to be there? Or not?
No, I'm not going to be there, unfortunately. But you know, there will be. The ground will be full. Let's hope it's a great game, and let's hope the Black and Whites come out on top.
Will it be a public or not? You don't want to say it, do you? You don't want to say it out loud, do you?
Hey, let's just hope that we get through the games. We get a full team out there, and we give them a really good game down there.
Wonderful. Thank you very much for speaking to us. Thank you, mate. That's more like it, isn't it? That's more like it. Newcastle got back today, to doing what we do in the league. I'm not saying we win in every week. At the moment, we are certainly not, and we have stopped the rot. You know, you looked at Milan was devastating. I talked about that at the start, talked about that on the preview. We needed to get over that, make sure there wasn't too much of a hangover. We've conceded 7 goals in our last 2 away matches. It was just, it's not always that the performance isn't as important as the result. Today, before Chelsea in the Cup, Luton away, and then you go into the Christmas, the result was really important. And I think it was the same when we played Brentford earlier in the season after we just lost 3 in a row. That's happened, and the result, we got over the line. Now, the game itself in more isolation, the first half I was concerned. I wasn't concerned because I didn't think we were going to get over the line, because Fulham surprised me. 10 goals in 2 matches, 2 5-0 wins. They looked like they were playing for a point, as the gentleman I've just spoken to said there. They set up not very expansive, not very, I don't know, they just surprised me. I thought very penned in, but we did not start with the intensity. And I said to the bloke who I sit to when we left, I was maybe hoping that we were going to come with a little bit more. And his response to me was fatigue. And I said, yes, we can keep playing the fatigue card, of course, but I thought it was maybe more the hangover from Wednesday. And the intensity wasn't there. And when we don't play with the intensity, which, as cringe as it sounds, is our identity, we don't have that same, you know, it's our foundation of what we do well, and we didn't have that in the first half. And then of course there was a red card. Still haven't seen it back. It looked like it was a karate lesson. It did. I think Jimenez was wound up from Lascelles. He then takes it out on the player, and it was looked at. We all thought it looked bad in the moment, and it changes the game. And off he goes, their main threat, because he was in form. And you're thinking, right, they're now going to pen in and it changes the game a little bit, because when a team defends for their lives, there's even more pressure on the home team to suddenly create chances, and it all gets a little bit messy. And we went in at half time, we didn't create too much. I thought Almiron in the first half was not having a good game. He is not having a good time of things. I think a lot of people think Almiron's the scapegoat. For me, nobody's a scapegoat. We are just talking about performances in isolation. And Almiron, the last 4 matches, yes, he scored today, but he couldn't miss today. Let's face it. And I hope that maybe does his confidence some good. But first half, he wasn't really firing. And then we get the injuries. Fabian Schär goes off, and there was rumours he wasn't going to be in the team, and he went off. Luckily, we've got players in that position, one of the only positions to bring on. So he comes on. And then Joelinton, who's been absolutely class recently, really, really back to the Joelinton who you could argue is, when he's on that sort of form, is one of the best in the Premier League. So he's getting amongst it, and his injury I'm really concerned about, and I'm hoping that that's nothing too bad. And you're looking at our team, Kraft has to slot in, who hasn't played much football. Miley has to come on, who, you know, none of us are worried about him, and I'll get on to him in a second because he was brilliant. But the injuries are just non-stop, and some fans around the country might be like, oh God, they play the injury card. The injuries for us at the moment are ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. So then that happens, and our team is looking very, very makeshift. Callum Wilson never got much service in the first half, and I felt for him, because I think he is looking sharp again, he is looking up for it. We know he knows where the goal is. So second half we come out, and there's one job, is to just get over the line and get a goal. And it comes, Lewis Miley, oh my God. That boy is going to be something special. That boy looks like he has been playing football for years, and he deserves that goal. And my God, are you proud as punch when one of your own scores like he did. And that'll be one of the happiest moments of that kid's life. And my God, if there's one player who deserves that first goal, it's Lewis Miley. And he looked comfortable in that position, slightly out of position on that right hand side of a 3, and he looked comfortable. He really, really did. And I thought in the second half, Bruno stepped up. Joelinton went off, who's probably been dominating midfield a little bit more than Bruno out of our 2 Brazilian maestros, and Bruno just turned it on. And my God, that assist with the outside of the foot is the sort of assist I would shut the curtains to, as I always say, get the Yankee candles on and watch back. If Lionel Messi does that, the whole world is talking about it. It was a peach, and it was like, go on, Mr. Dan Burn, there you go. You have that on a plate, jobs are good, and the points are ours. And we dominated, we penned them in, as you probably should in the second half, against 10 men, and we got over the line, and we got the result. Now, individual performances, I've already talked about Lewis Miley, I cannot sing him highly enough. Bruno, I thought Livramento again was quality. It was amazing to see Botman back. I tell you what, Dan Burn is back in the team, and Dan Burn did not put a foot wrong today, and it was great to see him get on the score sheet. There's been question marks over Dubravka. He wasn't really tested today. So I still think there's question marks over Dubravka. No disrespect to the bloke, but I do, because we will be tested in the next couple of matches, particularly on Tuesday. The jury's still out on him, and that probably sounds like I'm nitpicking, but we need to be looking at that area in January, and I said that, so we couldn't really see much of a test of Dubravka, which was good. Clean sheet, always nice for that defence going into a busy Christmas period. Anthony Gordon was good today. There was worries he wasn't going to be in the team, but he is looking such a threat for us. And if you'd asked me at the first half, I would have said that was the only place a goal was going to come from. The only disappointment for me today is that Callum Wilson doesn't get on the score sheet, because that man loves goals, and he will have come off the field today very disappointed that he didn't get amongst it against the 10 men of Fulham. So we've got over the line, we've got the points, back to winning ways, which is amazing. Now on to Chelsea we go on Tuesday. Now, I was just asking fans there whether it's maybe a game too many. I'm not going to say that, because Chelsea are a little bit indifferent. We'll see how I don't know what their result against Sheffield United was this afternoon, but we know that it's not the Chelsea team that maybe of years gone by. Lots of money spent, and it's anyone's in a cup competition, so fingers crossed, because my God, if there's one match I would like a result in, it's to go into the semi-finals of the cup. So fingers crossed we can do something on Tuesday. But these matches now, with players going off, if Joelinton's is bad, if Schär's is bad, these matches are now coming thick and fast. And then we've got Luton on Saturday, and you know what you're getting at Luton, a big scrappy one. But let's put that Champions League disappointment behind us. It's funny what a game of football does just before Christmas. We've got a derby to look forward to. We're back to winning ways, lovely clean sheet. People are breaking up for the holidays, Santa Claus is coming, and things aren't looking too bad. Newcastle United at home are probably the most formidable I can ever remember in my lifetime. Seven Premier League home wins in a row. There you go. That's nicer than what the bloke said the other day walking past. There you go. A bit different than the bloke who shouted "Nobody watches you shite." That was a bit more the Christmas spirit of them going down the stairs there. Yeah, things aren't looking too bad watching Newcastle United in the league. And I'll tell you what, I wouldn't bet against us in the cup on Tuesday. Would you? Eddie Howe's mags are back. Merry Christmas to all. How are you, lads?